In this video, i-breakdown po natin from a multiple time frame perspective ang LTG. Are you guys ready? Let's go! Alright everyone, so same as with yung mga multi-time frame analysis natin from before, magsisimula tayo dito sa monthly chart ng LTG. Now, a few months back, I already did a multi-time frame analysis nitong LTG, kaso marami pa ring request about it, so I figured na baka panahon na ulit na gumawa ng bago para ma-up-to-date natin yung mga napag-usapan natin from before and we can see where we're at currently, no? Now, I'm not gonna discuss everything that we discussed in the previous video. I would suggest na kung kaya nyo, go back, watch it kasi you will see na marami sa pinag-usapan natin doon ay nangyari nga. Diba? It more or less unfolded according to plan, no? So because of that, baka magandang i-rewatch nyo yun. I'll put a link to it in the description box below prior to watching this para lang mas buo yung picture na tinitignan nyo or hinahanap nyo in your minds. Okay? Now, dito sa monthly chart ng LTG, we can see na the range that it's currently trading at is between 8.5, okay, which is tong low na to, hanggang 11.3, which is tong high na yan. Bakit yan yung range? Kasi nag-form tayo ng leg dito, we bounce, then we collapse, diba? So for now, ito yung range na tinitingnan natin that price is currently trading at. This month, we tried to go beneath it, okay, pero so far, lumalaban pa. Meron pang ilang araw na natitira sa buwan. Pwede pa rin siyang bumaksak beneath it, no? But as of right now, we're trading above it, which is good. Because that's showing na, uy, baka ready na siya mag-trade within this range pang samantala. Now, since this is a monthly chart, you can't expect na ilang araw lang or mga 2 linggo lang ay biglang from where it is, babalik siya sa top end ng range. After all, it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months for price to come back down where we are right now, diba? So, it's only realistic to expect na even if we wanted to trade that range, it's gonna take at least that long din or very similar. Now, kung kunwari, this month, we close beneath tong 8.5 na support, then we're looking at price possibly coming back dito sa 7.11 na area. Okay? Pero kung sabihin natin na nag-close siya above, yes, okay, pwede siyang mag-trade sa range na to. But before we get too ahead of ourselves, tignan natin sa weekly chart kung ano yung itsura niya para mas ma-identify pa natin yung mga key levels na pwedeng maging hadlang sa pagtaas or pagbaba ng price nitong LTG. Okay? Now, dito sa weekly chart, as you can see, etong 8.5 na area kung saan tayo naglaro, di ba? Parang nag-gap down tayo dito, tapos dito, nag-console lang sandali, then we gapped up. Okay, we opened up and gapped up this week and we're holding above tong key area na napag-usapan natin kanina sa monthly chart. Okay? Now, sabi natin kanina, kailangan nating makita saan pa may mga key levels na important. And here, we are looking at may 9.11 and 9.75 and 10.26 na pwedeng pag-untugan pa ng price. Bakit significant yung mga levels na yon? As you can see, etong 9.11, it acted as both resistance, support, resistance, and so on, no? So it's a very obvious and kitang-kita na inflection point. The same thing goes for 9.75, resistance, support, resistance, support, and so on, no? Kitang-kita din siya. And of course, the same goes for 10.26, although yung 10.26, mas konti yung mga significant touching points niya. So while I recognize na it's there, I understand na it might not act as strong a resistance compared dun sa 9.11 and 9.75 na areas. Now, bakit important yun? Kasi from here, we can see what we're dealing with. Assuming that I wanted to trade LTG right now, assuming that I wanted to say na hindi, reversal na yan. Okay? Let's approach this from a more technical perspective muna. Saan ba papunta yung price? Hindi ba high, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low pa rin tayo? Walang nagbago from that aspect. despite yung ilang months na nagdaan since the last time that we looked at this. Now, ano yung earliest na pwedeng mag-change yun? I would argue na the earliest na pwedeng mag-change yun is if kung mabasag tong 9.75. Bakit yan? Kasi we had the swing low, bounce, nag-hold, then dun tayo nag-push lower. Diba? So para masabi natin na may reversal structure na in play, at least from the weekly perspective, we want to see 9.75 taken out para lang meron na tayong bagong high na pwedeng bantayan in anticipation of a potential higher low in the horizon. Diba? Kasi kailangan may ina-anticipate tayo na scenario if we're trying to catch something sa medyo baba eh. In this case, yun yung pinaka nakikita kong maagang pwedeng mangyari. Kasi catching it below, at least dito from a weekly perspective, medyo dehado ka eh. Diba? Dahil yun nga eh, yung overall structure is still going against you. Now, one can even say na hindi ba nag-form tayo ng head and shoulders dito, tapos nabasag na rin siya? Pwede rin. Kaya mas important lalo na at bare minimum, ma-retake tong 9.75 bago tayo mag-consider ulit ng bullish scenario moving forward. Kasi minsan, sa sobrang apurado natin na makapasok, sa sobrang gusto natin na makuha sa baba ang isang stock, nangyayari, pumapasok tayo ng medyo maaga. Remember, timing is not just getting a particular issue or stock at the lowest price. It's getting in at the point wherein yung drawdown nyo will be minimal. Okay? Now, from here, isa pang nakikita ko na pwedeng maging structure is baka mag-form tayo ng some type of inverse head and shoulders dito. Kung mangyari yon, then baka nga pwede nating tignan kung meron tayong short to mid-term reversal na pwedeng masakyan. But we need to understand kahit na mangyari yon, hindi natin nabasag tong 9.75 or 10.26. Now we are still fighting against the larger pattern at hand. Okay? Kung from here, mabasag nga ng tuluyan tong 8.02, okay, na support dito, then we can see na ang pwede nga niyang puntahan is yung 7.11 that we discussed doon sa monthly. Saan galing tong 8.02? Siya yung nag-form na support nung nag-bounce tayo dito. And kung makikita natin, it acted as support here and resistance there as well. Now, tingnan natin sa daily chart if we can refine this even further para mas may idea tayo pa kung ano pa ang pwede nating gawin or i-anticipate dito sa LTG. But before we go there, allow me to remove these marks lang, no? Now, going to the daily time frame, makikita natin na mas significant pa at mas obvious yung mga levels na pinili natin kanina. Let me zoom out lang para makita nyo where those levels came from. And let me pinpoint lang itong 7.55 where I said na if we did break down beneath nitong 8 pesos, fill that gap there, we could have bounced dito sa 7.55 kasi dyan yung area of previous consolidation. Now, we did turn ahead of that, and para sa mga bulls, obviously that's a good thing, no? But had it gone there, then yes, I would possibly have anticipated trading tong LTG. Now, let me zoom in na para we discuss the right now, no? Now, from here, as I said, mas nagiging obvious yung mga points wherein nagkakaroon tayo ng inflection or bakit sila importante. Specifically, yung 9.11 at yung 9.75. Pero dito sa daily chart, nakikita natin na may 9.54 pa na potential harang that also acted as an inflection point. Now, why am I saying all of this? Diba? Why am I pointing out all these levels? Kasi we need to understand na if we're trying to play for a potential reversal, okay, by its very nature, since pababa nga siya, and gusto mong i-anticipate na masalo mo siya on the way up, marami po talagang mga areas na pwedeng pag-untugan ng price, and from there, makahanap tayo ng possible reversal na pabalik, diba, against us, diba, or bearish in this particular instance. However, okay, dito sa daily, ang nakikita natin, pwede pala na kapag na-break natin tong 9.11, tapos ma-form nga yung inverse head and shoulders na pinag-uusapan natin kanina, possible na nagkaroon na tayo ng break-in structure. Kasi after all, dito pa lang nag-swing high, nagbumaba, swing high, untog, then we swung lower. Hindi siya gaano kita nung sa weekly chart, pero dito sa daily chart, mas obvious siya. Now, what that does is it gives me a potential lower point or a potential lower price point to start watching out na, uy, kung mabasag to, baka kailangan medyo mas bantayan ko na tong LTG. Baka yun na yung hinihintay kong opportunity to possibly get in. Okay? Now, kung kunwari ang plano nyo is to average down or ang plano nyo is wala, mag-hold lang kayo from wherever it is that you entered from before. Obviously, outside siya nung purview nung pinag-uusapan natin ngayon, no, na technical analysis. Kasi after all, case-to-case basis masyado yun eh. Masyadong maraming saan kayo pumasok, saan kayo hindi pumasok, bakit nyo gusto mag-average down dito, and so on and so forth. But, at least, this will give you an idea na ano ang pwede nyong hintayin na mangyari kung sakali man na sinusubukan nyo nga na potentially mag-average down sa position nyo dito sa LTG. Or potentially, naghahanap kayo ng paraan para makapagdagdag doon sa naipon nyo na. Baka nakabili kayo dito sa baba ng LTG. Alright? But for the meantime, okay, wala pa po akong gustong gawin dito sa LTG. Kasi nga, from monthly hanggang daily na time frame, wala pa tayong nakikitang kahit anong confirmation that gives us any type of bullish bias. Yes, of course, price is gonna bounce up and down along the way. It's what the market does. Hindi po mangyayari madalas ang sunod-sunod lang na red candles or sunod-sunod lang na green candles. Merong mga pagkakataon na nangyayari yon, but by and large, those are more an exception than the rule. Diba? As a general rule, price will simply go up and go down, kaya trend ang mas tinitingnan natin rather than kung ano yung nangyayari from a candle-to-candle basis. Kasi context pa rin yung mas nagmamatter. Diba? And for now, contextually speaking, etong LTG, pababa pa rin talaga. Very textbook na downtrend pa rin. Okay? So, shortcut ko lang, no? I-summarize ko lang yung pinag-usapan natin so far. From a weekly and monthly perspective, walang clear-cut pa na pwedeng gawin. Except sa weekly, kailangan natin sana makakita ng break above nitong 9.75. However, sa daily chart and sa weekly chart, nakakita tayo ng potential formation ng inverse head and shoulders pattern. Siyempre, kailangan natin makita pong mabuo yun bago natin siya i-trade. But, what that does is it gives us a potential lower entry point at around 9.11 kung mabasag nga yung level na yon, assuming price decides to go up. Okay? Kung whether or not magbuo to ng decent structure para makapag-form tayo ng trade idea around it para makasakay tayo for a potential short to midterm reversal remains to be seen. As I said, hindi naman mahalaga na ma-identify lang agad kung ano ang directional bias eh. At the end of the day, mas important na maganda yung risk-reward na tinitingnan natin. Okay? Na very refined yung idea natin in the sense na alam natin saan tayo mali, alam natin saan tayo tama, alam natin paano natin i-manage yung trade natin, and so on. So guys, dito po nagtatapos yung video natin, no? I hope nakatulong po to sa inyo kahit konti and may natutunan kayo kahit papano. And if so, I would really appreciate it if you give this video a like and consider subscribing to my channel. And as always guys, maraming salamat po sa panonood. I really appreciate it. Good luck and happy trading!